Well, hello everyone. I'm back. I'm back in the Tampa groove. I am back in the Tampa groove. Yeah, hey everybody doing? I had a nice week off. Went for a little trip down to South Florida because everybody should take that once in a while. And I went down there in this car. I went down in a convertible, and it's a 1995 BMW 325, and I got 25 miles to the gallon. I was tickled pink, man. And it was nice to actually in South Florida. I actually drove with the roof down. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome. Good stuff. So hi everybody out there. Hi the regulars. I see them already in here. What about Al, Benjamin, Barbara, and there's Anthony. As we say up in New York, you say Anthony. So how you guys doing? Yeah, this has been an utterly interesting week. Well, for me, just because I drove, 4 hours down, 4 hours back in 4 days, which is not bad. I thank God for cruise control. But as far as car news, it's actually been kind of interesting, to say the least. I have two videos I just put out in the last 7 days. I have one on actually they're both on my type of charger, and I did it basically on why that 71 and 74 Charger B bodies, just no one seems to really have wanted them until recently. And then all the little trick things they did for NASCAR for the Charger. So I'm going to be kind of going on that. So all about Al, right out of the gate. He's out of the gate, man. He's on fire. He's in fuego, in fuoco. Dennis, will you still be doing the shows on Thursdays once football season starts? Yes, I don't watch football, so I will keep doing my shows. The one night a week I could really do it. Don't know any other nights I could switch it to. I have a lot of conflicts on Fridays. Weekends are usually crazy, and then we of course have that other little podcast I do, that gunk one that takes up 3 days a week at this point. So yeah, it looks like Thursday unless other things change. So that's going to be the way it's going to be. And I hope you guys join me, because you know what? You can read the football school's scores tomorrow, because it doesn't matter if you're watching or not. I'm just saying. So it's nice. I have two screens now. I'm so freaking excited over this. And I even so, I still can't work this. Can't work the computer correctly. So I'm going to start off with, as usual, with news, and then I'll get to you guys' questions and stuff. And first of all, what does everybody think of the lighting in the background? Like have it on a little of a strobe mood lighting back there, kind of accentuate the books. Can make them look very important. If the Raiders are, well, I guess everybody has to play Thursday night, right? Because that's like the thing. No matter how bad you are, I don't even watch them, and I know. Thank you, Benjamin. Okay, they look good. Lighting's choice, cool. I think I'm going to add some more little while. I'm still straightening this room out. This is going to be a lifelong project in here. So first, we're going to start with some really, really awesome news. This is great stuff, man. New Maserati with manual just might happen. So a couple years ago, Maserati, the maker of very expensive Italian cars that look really cool, was going to be going all electric cars, and this is up to 5 months ago. And then they say, oh, we're going to get better gas ones. Now they're going to turn 100 years old. And they had just did the MC Pura at the Goodwood Fistful Speed, and Pura means true. And so they're working on the next high performance one. But the really neatest thing is, they're getting away from the electric appliances, and of course the head of a Maserati says a manual gearbox is an opportunity. I don't see a big series, but why not do a special version with a manual gearbox? Dennison said, no reason to say never. It could be the right choice for a limited edition car. This is good stuff. We need more manual transmission cars out there. And that's David Dennison, head of engineering at Maserati. That's the guy you want to hear say stuff like that. So, and also they're saying that Alpha, another quality product, is also going to be coming out with an anniversary car. Because in 1928, I guess they won the Mille Miglia and the Spa 24 Hours. So we're gonna actually have some neat cars coming from Stellantis. Nothing American, because just the stuff they care about, the Italian stuff. Because this car sounds awesome. Twin turbo, 3-liter V6 with 630 horsepower at 8,000 RPM, and literally with a stick shift in it. I am excited. Even if I can't afford the damn car, I hope it comes out. Yes, Benjamin, it's going to have AM only radio. They're going to truly go retro on the car because it's Maserati. Football just come on at 7. Oh well. Oh well. But so that was really neat. Now, I saw this. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I saw this. This is continuing on the classic car market. It is really a weird ass time. It's the Hall of Fame Bowl. Cool. Hey, Vintage 76 Garage, how you doing? I hope those birds still aren't attacking your house, man. That was not some good stuff there. So yeah. Go Vintage 76 posts some stuff on YouTube. It's actually pretty funny. He has these birds that actually they go after his cars because I think they're irritated because they attack. He doesn't have any reflectors on his windows, and they think there's another bird there, so they poop on his car. So yeah, the market is really strange right now because this happened. This was at the last Mecum auction. These two cars, okay. This is the first Challenger convertible built. This is the first CUDA convertible built. The 446 pack cars, they are loaded with every option you can have in a 446 pack, and they're 4-speed cars. And so they went to auction. They've gone to auction a couple times now. Now let's figure this out. These are low production cars. Low production cars. I mean, they're first production. I mean, literally, to be only kid on the block that has one. Granted, the CUDA color is pretty bland, white, but the Challenger's in red with the longitudinal stripe. And I have a puzzle now. See, Vintage 76, he's still cleaning the bird poop. Put stickers on those windows. See if it makes the birds go away. So in late 2023, this author told you about a pair of rare 1970 Challenger and 70 CUDA pilot cars that was scheduled on a hammer. They estimated to fetch over $750,000, but failed to sell in Kissimmee, which that's huge because Kissimmee's the biggest auction in the world. So they and it's been 18 months since they didn't sell, so they went to Indy, and so they went Mecum 2025, and they've gone 2 other times. They did not sell. The CUDA got the 370, and the Challenger got the 350. Now, to put this in perspective, like a Hemi CUDA, I mean, there's only 12 of them. Hemi CUDA convertible, there's only 12. That's a multi-million-dollar car. It's a multi-million-dollar car, and I mean, there's 12 of them, but this is the first one, and they can't even get. And see, this is a whole nother thing, but the market is so messed up now that even Halo cars like this can't sell. And the problem is that the problem is that people are having a hard time selling cars because as we did on the last show 2 weeks ago, we looked at the Mecum auction. It just happened, and literally half a page or more than half a page of cars didn't sell. And these weren't even high dollar cars. They just didn't sell. The market is really stressed at this point. And cars like this that just aren't selling is really a, a, a real kind of a microcosm of how bad the classic car market has gotten at this point. And the thing is, though, you can't even. So we're in such a screwed situation if you want an old car, because the finished cars are, for the most part, getting very high dollar, and the the finished cars are getting even higher dollar. Now, if you buy an unfinished car, to try to finish it now is damn near between, 50 to $100,000, just how depending. And now I have more cats. I can't even show. I have the boy cat here. So I'm surrounded now by cats. I have a puzzle. I have my lap, who she's right here. She's puzzled right here. Can't see her. But that now, and I did the video on how much it costs to restore a car now. And honestly, if you don't have a classic, or don't have a line on a classic, or don't have someone in the family that can, that has one and can help you with, you're really going to have to go and dig deep to actually get a classic car. So it's really not a great time to start. But there are some alternatives at this point. The classics they're a pain. But actually, I saw an article. I won't even do this one. I saw an article, and it's not from it's from England. Uh, and actually, Leno only. I don't know if Leno has a Cuda convertible. It's because there's only 12 of them, and the Challenger Hemi convertibles. I think there's only. I don't. I think there's like 18 of them. I don't think he has that though, but he does have a turbine car, which is a whole nother level of car. See, Beth was right not giving you a cat. You're an old cat man. Very funny, Barbara. Very funny. But yeah, so don't despair, because here is actually an interesting list, but it's from England. But actually, a lot of these cars can be brought into the United States and don't have to be federalized. And federalized is where you have to take things off that are for another country to make it so it's roadworthy in the United States. But once a car is over 25 years old, you don't have to do that anymore. And what are you doing, Kat? All right. So once it's past that age, you don't have to do it anymore. So this is actually a very interesting list. And so let's just, without further ado. So this is secondhand star cars, 90s gems to buy now. So this list is very interesting. First, a Porsche Boxster 986. The only thing about a Porsche Boxster is fixing it. They have these in America. This is an English model, but they have them in America. Yeah, they end up being cheap, but to do anything on the engine, you have to drop the engine out of the car. So Paul Erickson. He featured a Cuda convertible, but doesn't have one listed in his collection. Yeah, I didn't think he had one. Autobot Dennis, you should train your cats to be the unholy army of the night. No, I just want my cats not to be annoying, like Puzzle is right now. She just realizes, yes, a 91 Geo Metro. Yeah, that's if you could find one, actually, that may be a collector. So let's get back to this. So the Porsche 986. Here we go. The Volkswagen Corrado VR6. These are actually awesome cars, and they were brought to the United States. And honestly, very well made. German engineering, good car. Probably can be had fairly cheap at this point. And I here's one I would love to import: a Vauxhall Calabria 4x4 turbo. And this is over in Europe. Like I said, though, you can bring these in and not change them. Or the Honda Integra, which actually in America, this is a Acura Integra Type R. And these are quite collectible. And see, look at it, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. I know. They're nice. The Honda, so this would be an Acura Integra. So it's another kind of cool car from the 90s. Here's one I wouldn't mind importing, a Rover 220 Turbo. So it's a little rocket ship. And of course, these are here, and that's like the convertible I have, the E36s. They show in the 328. The M3s are actually still cheap in this range. So if you're looking, the 30-year-old car, the M3s could be had for like 10 to 12,000, and it's a hell of a car. Parts are readily. See, here's the thing on these BMWs, parts are readily available. Some of the stuff may be expensive, but most of the stuff is readily available. I did a clutch, but through Amazon. I literally bought clutch parts through Amazon. I mean, I didn't have to go anywhere special. I just had Amazon ship it to me, and I did all the work myself. Body panels can be gotten easy. Headlights are readily available. Interiors, you can get the stuff to cover them, but the BMW didn't use the best leather. I got lucky on mine. I found the set for $200. They're really nice. But yeah, this is these are good because there's a couple of BMWs on this list. The Fiat Coupe, which we did not get here. What a cool looking car. And so this is a 5-cylinder 20-valve engine with a turbocharger. I mean, this is pretty neat. This is a neat car. I'd love to see one of these. The Toyota MR2. This was brought to America. This is a much better car than the first generation. It has a little bit more engine oomph. It's a little bit bigger car. These are really a good modern collectible. Renault Twingo. You got to be joking me. All right, now BMW Z3s. The Z3s are still cheap. They were cheaper 2 years ago, but now you can still have one for $4 or $5,000 with a stick. What about Al? What about a Nissan Skyline? Skylines are on fire right now. I mean, down here they have people have direct lines to Japan, and they have shipping deals, and they get cars shipped for like $5,000, 5 to 7, depending. And so they're buying they don't have much value over there. It's just weird, but they're buying them, getting them over here for less than, I think it was, guy said like 25,000. And then they're, bring them here and they're worth like 40 to 50. The late 90 ones are, I mean, they are just absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. So they're the market's already caught them. And so they're a little behind the curve on them. As soon as 25-year happened, they started bringing them in. I mean, I see a lot of them here. I absolutely go to a big car meet, you'll see 5 or 6 of them, which is, for a right-hand drive car, that's pretty ridiculous. Dodge minivans, yeah, sure. Why not? It has the same drivetrain as a Chrysler TC by Maserati. Two Diesel Larry, you're late. Hey, it's okay. It's fine. You didn't miss much. Benjamin, 5,000 ounce of lots of forever stamps. Not anymore. They're creeping up to $1 at this point. So, but the Z3, once again, same thing as E36. The parts are readily available. It has a manual top on it, so you don't have any electric motors or anything. Tops are readily available. Very easy to put on the car because it's small. A lot of them have 4s in them. The 4-cylinder is very good engine in BMW. Others have the 6, also inline 6, great engine. They have regular 5-lug wheels on them. You can switch them out. For a pure little sports car, yeah, this is a neat little thing. The only downside is 2-seater. I mean, that literally is the 2-seater. Peugeot, I like that this Peugeot is flying. The 306 GTI. We don't have them in America, but this would be something interesting. See somebody brings any of these in. And of course, the Mercedes SL. These actually are really cool. The only problem with Mercedes is they have lots of issues with air conditioning, and parts are only through Mercedes. Very, very expensive. Ford Escort RS 2000. So this is Escorts that we didn't get. these are actually legitimately fast cars. 148 horsepower in that little car, and it is absolutely a fun little car to drive. They say 8,000 pounds, which is like 12 grand. So they're already pretty expensive over there. And to try to get one here would be another 7,000 on top. Peugeot GTI, no. Ford Focus. Now, never think of Focus, but there actually was a hot ST over here. The ST actually will probably be something collectible. And then, of course, the BMW 8 Series. I'm actually going to do a video on the engine in the BMW 850 because it's fascinating. It's a V12. The downside on these cars is you either have to be a BMW mechanic to or you have to be rich. They are stupid expensive. Everything is one-off on them. Everything is one-off. So things get real expensive real fast. The 12 is everything's individualized on it. It's a really durable engine, but it is expensive. And if it's an automatic, BMW automatics are a nightmare. So, but these cars are beautiful. The missus loves these cars, but I'm like, I don't have enough patience to own one of these. Oh, we don't have enough money either. The Euro small Ford cars, yeah, they actually were. I wish we had gotten them here. Ford Probe. The thing with the Ford Probe had the worst name ever. The name of it was Probe, and it was aimed at women. Not a great marketing scheme there. Haggerty did a video on 850i. Cool. What I'm gonna be focusing on is that engine, because the whole story of how that engine came about and where it came from is absolutely utterly amazing. It is a 12 like no other 12. Do European Fords have automatic seat belts too? I'm not sure. So, of course, I went and I looked. Oh God, this is so small. But I looked up, future collectible cars from the 90s. And, these are a few cool ones. Now, there's an NSX here and a Cyclone. No way. Those are already expensive. A McLaren F1. I've seen one of these. This was a car that was built by McLaren with a BMW M motor in it. It was the fastest. Actually, I think it still is the fastest production car, like from 0 to 60 or some crazy stat. It's a 3-seater, so it actually has a driver's seat in the middle, and then you have passengers sit on either side. Absolutely one of the craziest cars ever. And the engine compartment's lined in gold. So, yeah. But so that's really not in the collectible thing. But 300 ZXs. The 1990 and 96 300 ZX are a good car. It's Nissan. Still can get parts for it. They are, they're pretty good looking cars, and they aren't that expensive. They really aren't. And they were made pretty well. The Probe with three pedal, V6 and 3 pedals were quick. Yeah, but still, the name. Oof. Oh, how much is that? How much is the McLaren worth? Oh, it's a multi-million-dollar car. Seriously, this is honestly a McLaren F1 is worth like, let's see. Let's look it up. Because I saw one in a private collection. And let's see. $20 million. $20 million. So there's your answer, Barbara. It's a $20 million car. And I've seen one. It was in a private collection down in Naples. And yeah, so I don't know. This is already past being a future collectible. The Nissan 300 is a car. The Viper's already taken off. Audi R8s are already, they've always been expensive. The Mustang Cobras from that time period are probably still a good deal. I would say that these are still a good deal. You know, I mean, you could probably get them from ten to $15,000, but it is a Mustang Cobra, and we could put all our money together and get that car. I don't think so, Barbara. I don't think so. Maybe you can. You and Benjamin can. But I no, that 20 million, that's just psychotic money. Damn. I mean, that's crazy. The RX-7, this is a car that gets overlooked a lot. I don't understand this. Well, RX-7s, you know, this car from the 90s, the one that looks like, a sneaker. Um, all right, Benjamin can give us $3, Barbara. We're almost there. So we're 19,999,997 short. So we're almost to there. We're almost to there. So that's good. Our first husband had a 70 fastback Mustang. Oh, you have good taste. Obviously, he's an idiot because he's no longer your husband. Oh wait, you're gonna look in the couch cushions and in the laundry room. Oh, good. Hopefully, you can find some. Hopefully, you can find the other $19 million we need. But yeah. So these cars are really awesome, and I honestly don't see them as being very collectible. Of course, then you have the Toyota Supra, which is already pretty expensive. The Supras are already this is a new Supra, but the ones from the 90s are very expensive things. And of course, hey, for all the cuisines out there, get your Cadillac Eldorado. There we go. Oh, he passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. That's so terrible. It's okay. I'm sorry about that. Sorry for your loss. McLaren cars are overrated in my book. Well, except for that F1. That F1 is something special. It is a special car. Like me, I'm special. So I feel very special right now. So yeah. So I mean, it's been very interesting because this is where you have to start going and looking now if you want to get into the classic car kind of thing, looking at 90s. Oh God. Oh, cool. The Dan Travel Channel. Oh, I like that, Dan. He subbed earlier today. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you like what I'm doing. We're trying to work hard at doing this. I'm trying to make better products. So, but thanks, Don. Yeah. Where's that beach? Because that looks nice, and I want to go there. I like beach. I do. I like beach a lot. Yeah, because there, see there, because I went to the beach in this. So yes, but oh, you're here to support. Well, thank you, Don. Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, it's been South America. Oh, South American chili. Oh yeah, I like that. I've never been to South America. I've wanted to go, but it's a long ass way down there actually. Yes, Barbara, that is the car I went to Vegas. I actually have my video series on me driving the car back with my intrepid assistant, also known as my daughter. That car made it back from Vegas in 5 days. And I have videos that I haven't finished on it because I have PTSD. So far we've put a roof on it. We have put a clutch in it. We have changed the spark plugs on it. We have found all the vacuum leaks in it. I just did a level sensor for the fuel tank because it was leaking. It and have new seats in it. Yeah, and a new radio because the other radio was garbage. Let's see. Oh, you remember when are the wheels yes. Actually, the wheels on this car, you're gonna love this. So the original owner of this car, I have all the paperwork. It's in that file cabinet over there. The original owner paid an extra $1,000 to have those wheels chromed. A grand. This car was $45,000 in 1995. I mean, honestly, uh, I mean, honestly, it was just this car was expensive, but it's a convertible that doesn't rattle. Yeah, that's right. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Did Puzzle go to Vegas? No, Puzzle doesn't like traveling. Did you put Sirius in that car? No. I have Android Auto. I actually stream Italian music 90% of the time in the car. I mean, and I'll be quite serious. That's what I do. The last of the actually the E46 is the ones after. I had 2 of them. They're not bad cars. You can still work on them. The things that are wrong with them are you can mitigate them. I mean, seriously, it's Vanos issues, which is not hard to fix. E46 330s, you have to fix. Oh, I just got nails in my leg. You just have to fix the rear subframe and reinforce it so you don't rip it out of the car. But other than that, I mean, they're actually very decent cars. Um, no, it's not Louis Prima. It's actually It's actually Radio Italia. They have like hit music. Yes, BMW is plastic. It's horrible, actually. It's really, really not. They're it isn't the plastic on the car that bothers me so much. Uh, it's the engines with the turbochargers that just aren't made. This car has 186,000 miles on it, and I didn't think twice about driving it to South Florida and back. Over 400 miles. I didn't even think twice. I was like, yeah, sure, no big deal. Um, yeah, it's like called Moro Grown. It's actually like sea green. I think that's what it translates to, some sort of sea green. Yeah, vintage 76. The chrome wheels were big back then in the day in California. The car was bought in Nevada. So yeah, I think it had that California vibe to it. The lady really didn't do she didn't really keep up on the car that much. And she had a roof put on there, and it was one of the worst roof jobs ever. When I finally get the video, I get to see how bad the roof was. It was terrible. Uh, and my uncle didn't do much with the appearance of the car. He did all the stuff maintaining it. It's just the appearance. He didn't do anything. So, will I ever sell my Dodge? No. No. I've had that car since I was 16 years old. That's not going anywhere. I'll get rid of everything else before I get rid of that car. Um, BMW, everything around the timing belt is plastic. Yeah. Uh, I thought they used chains. I swear they use change on the turbo engines. But the problem is they have they have so many issues with the turbos on those cars. It's just you have to do constant oil changes on them, otherwise they get completely carboned up. The automatic transmissions are a nightmare. They absolutely you have to service them. They're supposed to be you have to service them like every 50,000. You have to get the walnut shell inside the intake manifold because it's direct injected and it doesn't clean anything. They're really bad about that. Um, no, they did not make them last like they did before. Yeah, no. And actually, I'm going to be doing a video on peak car, which in my mind, and when I lay it out, peak car happened between like early 90s to about 2006, 2007 was peak car. I'm talking the best cars ever made were on that time frame. And I'll fight you on that. I honestly think they were because I mean this car is a testament to it. Not every last one of them was good, but when the cars that were built well, you could still see them. So What is the highest amount of miles put on a car and whatever make? Somebody had a Volvo, and I think they had 3 million miles on it. It had like the inline five in it. So I mean that car could just run forever. Uh, is the Dodge going to go to the Intrepid Assistant if the Intrepid Assistant starts driving? Because the Intrepid Assistant still doesn't have her license, even though this is supposed to be her car. She still doesn't have her license. She drives it. It's a stick shift. She can drive it, being very well actually. Just she doesn't drive enough, and I don't feel that she doesn't have confidence yet to pass the test. Uh, let's see. I saw a VW Bug that had a lot of miles on it. Yeah. Well, the thing is with the Bugs, those engines, I don't think they can last as long, but the they can be rebuilt really easy. So you can just keep on going with that car. I mean, honestly. Dennis will be buried in a Dodge. That's an Elvis move. I don't know if I'll do that. I love the car too much. I'd rather it go someplace where it'd be loved. Oh, Don. Well, you'll see in my video when I do it. Peak cars, late 60s, early 70s, American. You'll see what I'm getting at when I do the video, because that was peak kind of freewheeling, building what people wanted. But you'll see. Uh-oh. Now Barbara's asking Don, what's your first car? Let us know. Jamie, how old were you when you got your license? I was 16 when I got my license. Yep. I was driving since I was 14, 13, something like that. As soon as I could reach the pedals and understand it, I was driving. That's when I got it. Peak cars 80s, mid 90s Japanese. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Watch my video when it comes out. It should be coming out. It'll be coming out probably next Tuesday or Wednesday. Because I have, it's just from working on cars and having all year cars. Autobot Al got his license when he was 21. I hope my daughter isn't following your footsteps. Oh dear. All right. Dan Traveler had a 86 Toyota 4x4 extra cab. So he had something this is one of the most durable things ever built. Actually, on Top Gear UK, they had one of these, and it had 1 million miles on it. And they tried to kill it, and they couldn't kill it. Did I say Dan? It's Don. Yeah. Maybe I need a glass of water here. Hold on. So, it's the only bad thing about doing it by yourself, because I have to take a break. All of a sudden, there's silence, and I'm not big on silence. The 1980 Camaro. I know you have a soft spot for that car. But yeah, I mean, honestly, these BMWs, these 95, the 90s BMWs, as long as it's not a 7 Series, are an incredible car. See, Benjamin was 16 when he got his license. Same one was one of the Back to the Future movie. Oh yeah, you mean the Toyota? Yeah, and that is, isn't it? Cool. Ow. Oh, Barbara had so much fun with the first car show. Yeah, I did too. That was really fun with everybody being really excited about it. Yeah, the SR22 4. Oh yeah, that wasn't. All you gotta do is change the oil on that car, and I mean they used that engine and everything. That thing was indestructible. I'm gonna highlight for like the 70s, because everybody talks about how horrible the 70s were, blah blah blah. But the engines they used in the Celicas, what the heck was I don't remember off the top of my head, because my uncle had one of those Celicas, and you can't break those cars. I mean, they'll rot away, But, they, honestly, Toyota just absolutely nailed making 4 cylinders. And it's a shame, that they're not a they hopefully things will change. They can make cars that they're better at making, because that's the other point I'm gonna go through, is that, you know, in 1972, 71, the auto manufacturers kinda got pushed into making cars they didn't wanna make. They made cars that they were told to make. And I think that's what really set us back many years, because we lost, like, honestly, the American car market lost like 15 years of development because they had to make cars to suit the government, not what people were wanting. Because we were on a run where there actually cars would have evolved a lot by the late 70s. They would have evolved a lot, and they would have had as much power, but they would have been much more efficient because we were already on the line to get more efficiency out of it. So, I mean, it's really fascinating if you look at what could have been the alternative timeline on these things. It really is a huge difference when you go and you see what happened because they were forced to make a car, and it just really it really hurt uh, the entire industry. It hurt the economy. It hurt. Uh, yeah, you can. Nixon, the Vinci 76 blamed Nixon for killing the muscle car. Yeah, you can. A few things that they did, and it was not just him, but just in general, what the government was doing was that, he created the EPA, which he started the monster. So yeah, that helped kill it. The fiscal policies they were doing were terrible, and that's what ended up causing the gas crisis. Is he closed the gold window in 71, and then they were like, we want gold, not dollars, and that's when the petrodollar got invented. And then you had the gas crisis, you had the insurance crisis, and then you had the EPA coming in and saying, oh, you have to make them very efficient and they can't pollute, and that was the end of that. So yeah, this actually there were two gas. Remember, there's two gas crises in the 70s. You had at the beginning of the 74, 74, 75. I have vague memories of that one. And then you had the one in 79 with the Iranian crisis, and gas shot up again, and it caught everybody flat. And that's basically was one of the death nails for Chrysler, because Chrysler should have gone bankrupt at that point. They literally were bankrupt, and they just got very fortunate, I guess, getting guaranteed loans. And did a whole video on the R body that he came out with. Bad choices in gas crises. Inline engines are the best because they don't have the same stress as a V. Yes, actually, the other thing about it, uh, Don, is the inline, like the inline six in anybody's arrangement. A fuel injected inline six has perfect harmonics. I mean, literally, is a perfectly harmonic car, because even though it's a 4-stroke engine, you'll always have two. You'll have 1.5 going, and it makes the engine very balanced. My 89 BMW, I can turn that engine to 7,000 RPM, and it doesn't. It literally is linear at that point. It is a beautiful feeling. V12s are the same way. It's very odd. V10s are very harmonically balanced, but inline sixes. So the slant, even the Ford 300, when you fuel injected, that thing was indestructible, and it really is the best design as long as you keep it uncomplicated. That's why the new Stellantis Huracan is a disaster, because they took a good concept of an inline six, and then they tried to wring its neck and get 600 horsepower out of it. No, that's not no. That's not good for the engine's longevity. See, Barber remembers it. Mid-70s, sitting in line and having to go on certain. Yes, they had even in odd days, and it was by your license plate. And that was in 79. I know in 79 they did that. I think they did it in 74 too. They literally went even odd on the last digit of your license plate. It's really horrible. What a horrible time. That's why cars were brown. Oh, yeah, also what about don't fight about midlife crises. Yeah, I won't. Yes. Oh, the Don Travel Challenge. Do you remember the Cadillac 468? Imagine if they had developed more. Uh, the 468, it has a deserved bad reputation, but honestly, the engine was rushed to development. And I worked in a gas station in the 80s, and we had somebody that had one, and it was just the technology wasn't there yet to do cylinder deactivation. They were still using solenoids, and it really didn't it it couldn't turn off the, cylinders properly. It was I think they were still using a carburetor on that car. I mean, there was just everything that could be wrong with it, yeah. So, that actually I may actually do a little thing on bizarre engines that got I actually it's on my list of things, bizarre engines that came out because of the gas crisis. And that one and the diesel they made, not a great setup. And, yeah. Vintage 76, yes, the gold standard should have never been canceled. That window should have never been closed. It should have never been taken away in the 30s. Gold is money. That's it's just the way it is. It's fiscally sound money. Oh, well. The tech was there. The government killed the car industry. Yeah. If it had and that's the whole point. If it had been able to develop naturally, they would because Chrysler was gonna come out with a ball stud Hemi. So it was a Hemi that would have been more in the vein of the Hemi they had well, it was kind of a cross of the Poly and the Hemi they have now, and it was less complicated. It didn't have weird angles for the valve train. It would have been scalable. You could have had a smaller version of it and then a big version of it. It was literally going to be an all-in-one engine, and they just stopped doing it because of all the government regs, even though I think the engine could have passed all the emission stuff. Let's see. I believe that Dennis and Don are gonna become better. I know you meant there. Uh Don knows a little about nothing, but that's how I feel all the time. Uh, oh, I thank you, Barbara. You're saying learn. That's awesome. I like that. That's why I'm doing this. I want people to learn something. I mean, honestly, because that's why I mean, honestly, at the end, I've amassed a stupid amount of car knowledge. This is actually unnatural. It really is unnatural. I'm the person that sits at a restaurant, like say you go like to a fast food restaurant. I'll sit by the window and watch the cars go by outside because that's just what I like doing. It's a great pastime for me. I don't know. I actually read those stupid books back there because I'm that type of geek. Yeah. So I love doing research on car stuff. So that's why when I do, especially the historical videos. I love doing historical videos because I may learn something I didn't know, and it's kind of fun because there was a lot of things about the one I just did about the NASCAR development of the third generation Charger. I didn't know a lot of the stuff that had happened with NASCAR in the mid '70s because I wasn't old enough to know that. Vintage 76. The Chrysler turbine car should have been mass produced. Chrysler screwed up. Yes and no. So what happened is that the exhaust on that car was jet hot. I mean, it was stupid hot. And I think the government kind of didn't like how hot it was. So they were like, yeah, no. And see what happened is that Chrysler, this is part of the bad fiscal decisions that they made. They dumped a lot of money into that car. I mean, they dumped a lot of money into that car. And the government said you had to destroy them all. I mean, literally, they couldn't even use them for fleets or anything. Somehow or the other, I think 8 survived. Leno has one. Chrysler had one for a while. I don't know if they auctioned it off, but I saw it at the Chrysler Museum. So there is like 8 of them left, but they were told to destroy these cars after they spent tens of millions of dollars in the late 50s, early 60s to build these turbine cars. And I mean, the thing is the design, and this is where I don't understand because the um the design on the car, I'm actually going to pull one up here because this is the design on this car is utterly and absolutely beautiful. Look at this. This is like early 60s. Look at this car. It's so forward. And honestly, it was a beautiful design. And it was a lot better looking than the cars because this is what they used in tanks, the turbine engine. See, they even show how it works. It could run on so you could run any type of fuel in this thing. So, I mean, it was great. You could run on lacquer thinner if you wanted to. And, you know, look at that. Look how the jet age kind of beautiful styling. So much better than a lot of the stuff that Virgil made later. Because I mean, the car had beautiful lines. It was such a besides it being so technologically advanced in '63, it was started in the '50s, but they had a beautiful looking car and actually really didn't bring this design anywhere because, yeah, I'll show you what a 1963 what a uh what a 1963 Chrysler looks like. Well, actually, Dodge Polara. So this is what Dodge actually sold in 1963. This is what they sold. This car. All right. So you look at that car and you look at this car. I mean, this car is hideous. And it's like it's not even the worst design they had in that time period. It's still a bad one. I mean, it's pretty sad that this is literally what they had in 1963 on the road, but this was the car that they had as a it was just so sad. And they lost so much money on this. I mean, honestly, Chrysler in the 60s, they had only like 3 really good years. I really mean that. They had really 3 really good years. And it was like 66, 67, and 68. No, 67, 68, 69. Those are the 3 really good years they had. And that was it. Early part of the 60s, they were not that great. And then at the end of, and then in the early 70s, they got their ass handed to them. Okay, Barbara, we know what to do with Dennis when he gets old. Just put him in a chair by a busy road. Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you everything about the damn car that went by. I got to run. Bye, Barbara. Good seeing you again. Don, I love the video you did there. We got a great job on that Mopar NASCAR. I subbed because of that video, and it's nice to meet you anyway. Cool. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna have lots of. I focus mainly on like old Chryslers because I've been around them all my life. But I'll do other cars, but I try to do things in a little different manner and really explain how it applies. And also a lot of stuff about fixing cars and stuff like that because everybody needs to know that. Tips and tricks. Yeah, the exhaust wasn't that hot. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought the exhaust was hot. I mean, it ran warm. I love that car and it wasn't as loud as you would think. But no, it had like a whooshing sound. I've heard them run. It's weird. It's like that. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a shame, though. I mean, that is one of those things in life where they had a great idea. Remember, they were an engineering company. Chrysler was the engineering company. And, yeah, it got them in trouble. Oh, Chris, I'm curious about the early to mid 70s NASCAR engines. Did you know much about that era? Yeah. Yeah. Uh, they were still so I'm trying to think when they started banning the big blocks because they were using them all the way through the mid 70s. I think it was toward the end of the 70s that they couldn't use the Hem anymore. I think it was like 74, 75. And so what Chrysler did is they built something off the LA, and it was it's built based on the 340, yeah, and it was a race engine, and so they were just high revving small blocks at that point. I think that's when it happened because I know that for the most part, the I think the body style that I have for up to when they were still made up to 74 was still using a Hemi, but I think that like 76 or 77, um, that they went and let's see, last 426 Hemi. Let's see, because I'm curious about this now. Do 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 64. No, we all know that it started 64. I'm trying to remember. Oh, God. Yeah, I think it was like 75. I swear it was somewhere around there last year because, and that was the coolest part about NASCAR back then. They literally wrote what the engine was on the hood of the car, and it really made it really that's where the whole win on Sunday, sell on Monday kind of thing happened. And I hate this. The internet is useless. I'm actually going to do this deep dive on this when it died, because then maybe I actually could do a video on that too, because that's actually kind of curious. Yeah, there are plenty of videos about turbo cars. That's why I'm not going to do one. I've only seen one. I mean, I'm lucky to see one. But yeah, I need to go watch some more of those. Those are great. I missed the reason why the government made Chrysler destroy the cars because of the type of engine it had in there. They just wanted them gone. Um, that's the story I had seen. Yeah, so Chris, I was watching 73 Darlington and noticed they all had Cuban engine on the hood. Yep. Yeah, because it was basically Chrysler, Dodge, and all the General Motors divisions. And they all had their big blocks because Ford had pulled out for supporting NASCAR in 70. Ford and GM made the government made Chrysler destroy it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Do you like the Daytona? Which one? Paul Erickson. Which Daytona? The real Daytona, the 1969 Daytona? Yeah, I'd love to have one of those. I've driven a Superbird. Though that's a drive and a half, but but a real Daytona is obnoxious, and I absolutely love how utterly obnoxious this car is. For everybody out there that doesn't know what a 69 Daytona is, wow, this picture is gigantic. Let's make that a little smaller. Yeah, I'm going to show this Daytona. Everything about this one I love. It's a 440 car, which is fine. I don't need a Hemi, but it's green. I like this shade of green. Black has a black wing on it. Nice, simple. It has the road wheels on it. Good looking car. I know, isn't it really cool? Yeah, I'm gonna do some work on that. I love all. Yeah, absolutely. Because God, I have a cat, and it's making it impossible for me to actually grab anything because the switch from big blocks to small blocks in NASCAR. Because that'd be kind of cool. Because Chrysler wasn't really supporting NASCAR, but they were kind of. I mean, there was no official support, but you could buy the stuff from them. Before my time, but it seems like it was real racing. Back then, those cars could actually bang. And if you look, like Cale Yarborough, he was actually a really nice guy, but you get him on the track and he was a bastard. You look at a lot of times when he won, his car would be dented because they would bump, he'd rub, that, and I mean, it was truly a man's sport. I mean, I mean that in the truest sense that you needed a set of stones to race those cars because you had a helmet, you had some fire protection, you had a seatbelt, but honestly, you didn't have a Hans device. The car was steel. And you had to shift that car. It was and they were factory 4 speeds. So you had to go and just make that car run. So 71, Chris, 71 was the last year they sold the Hemi to the public. No. But NASCAR allowed them to use the Hemi in the races for years afterwards. I thought that the whole reason they banned the Hemi in the 60s. All right, so the Hemi got stopped being sold in production cars in 1971 because there was no way that engine was going to make emissions. It's a race engine. It never would. Now, NASCAR wanted a good show. That's why they begged General Motors to come in and race, because otherwise it would have just been Richard Petty and Dan Baker running around in circles themselves, and maybe a bunch of privateers. There was no Ford at this point. And so they wanted a good show. And so they let them use those engines they knew would put on a good show for a long time. Now, the Hemi was banned in 1965, and Richard Petty went drag racing that year. Now, he went drag racing that year because he wanted to race, and he was not going to run anything except the Hemi in NASCAR because he would have been at a complete disadvantage to the 427 from Ford. They would have absolutely cleaned this clock. So they went, and it was reason it was banned because they really weren't selling them in street cars, and that's why the street Hemi got invented, was so they can sell them they sold them on the street so they can race the car. And that's when NASCAR was a real series. Like this crazy car here, the Daytona, designed in a wind tunnel, because Chrysler was the first company to design stuff in a wind tunnel in America. And they had to sell 500 of these. They sold 503. And they raced them. And the car was an animal, an absolute animal on super speedways. It had a drag coefficient of 0.30. Absolutely. What I mean, this car was really, and the reason was, Don brings up the Ford Torinos. In '69, Ford made a super slick car called the Talladega, Torino Talladega, and the Mercury Cyclone spoiler. And these cars were super slick. They absolutely were ahead of their time. Like, Ford had used all the information they had learned from Le Mans, and they built this NASCAR. The Ford Talladega. There we go. This car absolutely was using everything they learned at Le Mans, and they built a race car. And this thing, Ford actually, in 1969, Petty raced for Ford and won a bunch of races in this car. That was 1 year Petty went away, and that's why they built the Superbird in 1970 to bring Petty back, because Petty wanted an aero car, and he wasn't going to get one, and he didn't want to race Dodges at that point. He wanted to race a Plymouth. So then he went. Jamie, dirty fighters always win. Yes, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Just go look up Smokey Yunick. Smokey Yunick was the greatest cheat in the history of NASCAR. The guy was an engineering genius. He probably should have worked for the space program. Yeah, NASCAR was fun to watch back then. Now it is a joke, yes. Because, I mean, honestly, it was cars you could recognize. They didn't fall apart when they touched each other, and you knew these guys had a race to be able to feed their family. There was no it was just like old Formula 1 in the '70s and even the '80s. Those guys had to race to feed their family. It wasn't about getting a new jet. It wasn't about, getting a new apartment in Monaco. It was literally about, I have to, my kids need to go to school and I need to pay for it. And the same thing here. My favorite is, there's a shot from the late '70s, Dick Trickle, greatest name ever. Dick Trickle's in his car, and it's like a caution. So he's going around the track, and he has a pack of Marlboros, and he's sitting there smoking cigarettes while he's in a caution period. He's smoking it, and he takes it right before they go back to green, flips it out the window, and they go off. That is when NASCAR was NASCAR. It was absolutely hilarious. I mean, it was just real down home racing. Paul Erickson, I upgraded my mini bike to a Harbor Freight Hemi. What the heck is a Hemi? Okay. A Hemi is a loose term for a hemispherical combustion chamber. The spark plug is centrally located. Most modern cars are hemispherical cars. Hemis actually were originally designed to be able to burn the lowest octane gas available. And that's why Chrysler came out with the Hemis in the 50s, because gas was very, very unpredictable. And the Hemi had come out earlier. Other designers had it. Other companies had it. But Chrysler figured out a way that they can get more power out of this car, out of this whole design, because the spark plug being in the middle with the valves on both sides, it was perfectly efficient. It would go in here, go right out. And you were able to get higher compression without knock because of the shape of the combustion chamber. They can run they were able to run 13-1 on just regular race gas and not have any problems. And I mean, you timed the hell out of the car, and it would literally not ping. So it was literally. Wait, I'll even show a picture of this because it is a Hemi combustion chamber cross section. It is one of the neatest. Let's see if I actually can find a good picture. The hemispherical combustion chamber. Oh, here it is. Here's a great one right here. This is almost right out of Chrysler's book. So yeah, that is a hemispherical combustion chamber. You see that, and right here where that empty space, that's where the spark plug goes. So it's in, boom, out. And that's why race Hemis can go 8,000 RPM. And I mean, I've watched drag race Hemis 9,000 RPM because they perfectly flow. It is just perfect flow. But every modern car worth its salt has this head design. Now they use multiple valves, and that's why you get so much more power out of these cars today for the size of the engine, is because they're using a very good combustion chamber, and you could get a lot of compression on it. Vintage 76, the Euro Rally cars are, yeah. And those guys, Euro Rally drivers are the new NASCAR drivers. Those guys have stones on them. I mean, good Lord. I watched that. I mean, they're nuts. I mean, you're driving through the woods as fast as you humanly can, hoping the guy that's reading the map is doing a good job next to you. You're welcome, Paul. Yeah, I'm all about educating. Benjamin, Dick Trickle, a man and a medical condition. Yes. But yeah, so I may do a thing on actually, yeah, that'd probably be, because I guess a lot of people don't really understand what the Hemi is and why it's such a big deal. Because Ford came out with a semi Hemi. It was the 429, and it didn't have the plugs through the top of the valve cover, but they were very close. It was like almost like a poly head. So it was kind of near, and that engine was very competitive in NASCAR. Incredibly competitive. It's because on a Hemi, like a Chrysler, this is how the total crosses. You see the spark plugs go. Wait, I don't have the picture up. Here it is. So here's a street Hemi here, and here's another one. And you see the spark plugs go through the valve cover instead of being down here by the exhaust manifolds. So it's really a incredible feat of engineering. Yeah, the rally cars are incredibly fast. Those guys are crazy, and honestly, there's a lot of money spent on that. I know Renault in the '80s spent tons of cash trying to make. They made a special rear engine car just for rally, and then that's how Audi actually made their. That's how Audi actually had made their name with the Quattro, was in rally racing, because the Quattro was such a leap forward. They were kicking everyone's ass. It was absolutely amazing. Oh, wow, see, everyone shows how Hemi works. Look at this. See, the internet can be a really great place. It's not totally scary. See, that's how a basic Hemi. Look at that. So that's how it works. See a little spark plug, boop, 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 and you have to have the tube. But yeah, every modern car where you have to pull, the spark plugs are in the middle. Like all my BMWs are Hemis. Every last one of them is a Hemi. It's just the way they just the newer ones are all Hemis. They're all very efficient engines. Let's see. Hey, I have to run. Glad I was able to catch this live stream. Nice to meet you, DJ, and everyone. All right, thanks, Don. I'll catch you around. I'll have a new video coming out next week. And it'll be fun because it's going to be about the peak car, man. Got to go there. And yeah, that's right. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like. It helps me with the algorithm. I do want to get to 10,000. Everybody, I want to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm working hard now. I really would love that. I'll shave my beard live on air if that happens. I won't shave my head. I can't do that. I have a misshaped head. All right, cool. Thanks, Don. You'll be back for the good stuff. Let's see. Yes. Vintage 76. Back in the 80s, those cars were turbocharged 4-cylinder engines, put out 1,000. Yep. They literally, it was such a leap. And everybody asked me, so what does racing actually bring us? That. Because they figured out for a race car how to squeeze 1,000 horsepower out of a 4-cylinder. And, in Formula One, they did the same thing. Honda had I believe it was Honda. Honda had a 4-cylinder, and BMW had a 4-cylinder. I think it was BMW had a 4. Yeah, that they got like 1,200 horsepower out of in qualifying trim, because back then you could have a qualifying engine, and these things would turn to 12. I mean, forget about going to 11; they would turn to 12. And the lifespan, but man, they learned so much from those cars in the 80s, squeezing all that power out of them, because it was unfathomable, for running on gasoline and lasting long distances. But that's also what NASCAR gave us. NASCAR gave us a lot of durability for engines, because they had to make the engines last, 500 miles running at wide open throttle. So there was a lot there. Formula One gave us a lot of technology in valve trains, transmissions, cooling, just a lot of different things that they had. All the racing series have brought something to our world to make our cars actually better and more efficient. And you won't even think about it. It makes it more, but they do, because to get 1,000 horsepower, the car has to be efficient. Because if it isn't efficient, it's not going to make a lot of power. So that's always the part that people don't understand. If you can make it make a lot of power, it also has to be pretty efficient to be able to do that. Kind of interesting. It's one of those things in life about it, the efficiency. So, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm still a little woozy from my trip to South Florida because I gotta show you guys this because this is what I stayed at a friend's house and this was my view and I just didn't want to leave because it was just got him way back there. It was so beautiful. You know, it's one of those things where you just have to go away and kind of I did nothing but go to restaurants and eat really good food and cruise in a convertible, which was really fun. And let's see, I'm almost to today. Why is this taking so long? Okay. So yeah, this all right, so I'm gonna show you. This is the view I had from his condo. So this is, this was hard to leave. I mean, that was a thunderstorm coming in. Of course, it didn't rain, but it was just that's the Atlantic Ocean. It's a little hard. I needed the time away. I needed a nice little relaxation there, and it was absolutely just beautiful, just beyond beautiful. I was it's so nice. You just need that type of you need to get away, even if it's just a simple car trip, man. It's just nice to see stuff like that. Nature's so beautiful. And then also when I went to South Beach, we drove around. I couldn't get the best picture of it, but this was on the I love it. All the expensive cars and this Pontiac with donk wheels, but was sitting there valeted. This car was valeted um, on South Beach with the roof down. Look at that. Yeah, my windshield's filthy. It just rained. Oh, but yeah, it was just so it was that was just something where I'm like, wow, look at that. This is Pontiac convertible. Cool. It's like a 70, I think. Uh, today's NASCAR cars should be EV cars. No, absolutely, honestly, no. The EV dream is dead. It's over. It's gone. It's over, Johnny. It's over. It really is over. There's no more demand. Everybody that wanted one got one. Um, they're impractical. And now you've seen the electric grid up in the Northeast couldn't couldn't handle just being hot out. You try to put some electric cars in there and try to charge them. It's just not a technology that's ready for prime time, and it won't be probably in my lifetime either. So, no, what NASCAR really should have done is they should have literally lobbied the government and say, "Hey, enough with this garbage. Let them build some rear-wheel drive cars." The EPA fuel economy stuff. Let them build some rear-wheel drive two-door cars so we can have some real sport cars in America, and then kind of figure some way to make that work because what they have now is a joke. It is absolutely comical. I can't even watch it. Yes, that Pontiac had gold spoke. Yes, it did. It was Pimp Daddy, baby. Those are like 20s on that thing. It's donk. That is a donk. Actually, maybe 24s. That's donk, baby. And the whole suspension's been changed around so those suckers can fit on there. And I think they are center knockoffs. They actually literally are knockoffs, if I remember. But this car was actually really cool. But we were stuck in such bad traffic at this point. I was like, yeah, I couldn't find a place to park. South Beach is I mean, this is on a this is on a what was it? It was on a Saturday, but during the day in July, and this is how South Beach is. I mean, it took us 40 minutes to go like 3 blocks. Was that Dunk Master? Maybe. I mean, they rate. The thing is, you look it up. Look this up. Look up Donk drag racing because they actually do. There actually is a drag racing series on donks. It's insane. It literally is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen a lot of crazy things. This was nuts. But yeah, this is kind of like, oh wow, that was different because otherwise it was Bentleys, Maseratis, Lamborghinis, and then I saw this. Oh, what about Al has watched the show? Yeah, I know. Isn't it wild? I mean, they spend a lot of money on those cars. I mean, that's a lot of cash. The wheels alone, you're talking like 4 grand, easily 4 grand just in rolling stock. Not even the suspension changes. Rolling stock. It's just nuts. So, does anybody else have any questions, comments, things of that nature? Because I've those donk wheels are great for floodwater driving. Yes, they are. The ride sucks. I mean, because once you put that big a wheel on it, and then you have the sidewall, the ride's going to be just absolutely compromised. So it won't be a great riding car. To me, 17s seem to be the sweet spot, because that's what I have on my Charger, and it's not bad. It really isn't bad at all. So I found that 17s are a pretty good size. Anything larger, you start losing acceleration and you start losing ride quality. So there's that. All right. Oh, yeah. I'm still plus I spent like 7 hours on the video I just released. So I got back on Monday night, and so I shot the video on Tuesday and I edited it Tuesday afternoon. Had to go out. Then I came back on Wednesday. I worked on it all day because I had an engagement last night, and I worked on that video for like 12 hours over 2 days. That's including shooting it. So that's the wild thing about when doing YouTube. If you don't do it, it's so hard to explain how much time it takes when you go and have to do a video, because first you have to come up with the concept, then you have to write an outline, then you write like a loose script, because I have to have something, and then you shoot it, then you download it, then you look at it, then you edit it, then you realize you don't like some of it, then you go reshoot it, and then you try to edit it, and then you look for things that you need for the video. Yeah, so I mean, it's a whole thing. Vintage 76, when are you going to Italy? I am going to Italy at the beginning of October. I am so excited. You have no idea how excited I am. And I'll see about. I'm going to try to get some content over there from some Italian mechanics, because I know there's one in the town. I think my cousins know, so we'll be talking to them and finding out about the cars over there, because I know that the Fiats over there are not a preferred car, but they keep the mechanics very busy because they're junk. Italians mainly drive German cars. Literally, they like Volkswagens are the biggest car in Italy. It's not Fiat. Fiat is not a big seller over there. Benjamin, you better be live gunking from. Nope. It's 6 hours ahead. Nope. I am taking a vacation. I will not be doing the other podcast either. I may do something for this, because this is mine, but for that takes homework, and it's not a subject I'm very excited about. But this I may do a video or two from over there. May not be super high quality, maybe shorts, but I probably will drop something from Italy, because I'm excited about doing that, because it's fascinating over there. Bring back some DeLorto 36 millimeter carbs off at Alfa Romeo 33 from the 90s. Sure. I'll just run out to the junkyard there and see if I can find one. Benjamin, sorry, Dennis. I think you're out of vacation hours. No, I actually checked with my boss, which is me, and I've accrued way too many vacation hours. Because, see, when I go to Mo Party in September, and I will do a live for Mo Party, I will be there on Thursday night. I will do a live. So we can look forward to that. There will be a live from Mo Party. It'll be hopefully pretty fun. So that's on me on Thursday. That'll be in September. But that's working. See, that's not even vacation. That's working, because I have videos I make from that. I got like all sorts of stuff I'm doing. So I thought you were going to. No, only amateurs go to Italy in August. Ferragosto is August 15th. Half, if not all of Italy takes vacation. So you won't be able to find a room. You may not be go to a restaurant because they probably are closed. I mean, it's really one of the times where they that for the week before and after Ferragosto, they just shut the place down and they have their summer holiday. And the other thing is I'm going to Sicily, and Sicily is balls hot in summer. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I'd rather go when it's 80 degrees during the day and not 100 degrees during the day because that's a big difference. It's a little warm. I'm in Florida. I don't need to go for hot. Yes, I just said it. August is the hottest. They've already hit 100 a few times or broken 100. They hit 50C. They actually hit 50C a few times. I wish G Canada was here because he could be able to convert what that 50C actually meant. It was friggin' ridiculously hot. I mean, painfully hot in a lot of parts of Italy. And the only thing good in Sicily is it's windy all the time because it's an island. But yeah, it ungodly hot. And I mean, granted, you go swimming in beautiful Mediterranean, but no, I'm not going there. I'll go. October is a beautiful, beautiful time to go there. 80 degrees during the day, 60 degrees at night. I'm all ready for that type of weather because it has broken 100. Now, this is a little thing. I live north of Tampa. Now, they made a big deal that Tampa hit 100 the other day. I said, whatever. Where I live, I'm a little inland. I've hit 100 a bunch of times. And I actually hit 102 this week. And I hit my heat index on Monday when I came back. I missed it, thank God. It was 134. The heat index was 134 on Monday at my house. I have a weather station. It was brutal. Maybe that was the feel. I guess that was a real feel because I think I got to like the 40C or something like that. But that was like the real feel. It was brutal. I mean, they literally they had like the code red. Rosa, it was the Rosa, the Cota Rosa. Like, nope, too hot, not going, just absolutely no, absolutely not. So yeah, so it's been ungodly hot in Tampa. I haven't taken my cars anywhere because it's just way too hot. I'm just it's too summer is a horrible time for a classic car person in Florida because it either going to be pouring rain or like yesterday I got 2 inches of rain in like 30 minutes, or it's going to be near 100 degrees. So yeah. Dennis, have you gone on lots of long road trips? Do you ever get on road trips? No, no. Driving near my house, yes. I drive the traffic where I drive is rush hour traffic, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. It has been times it has taken me 25 minutes to go 3 miles, and I'm in the suburb area. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. And you drive down 50, and people are doing 35 miles an hour. I wouldn't necessarily call it rage. It's just irritation at that point. It's the New Yorker in me going, Jesus, just go faster or move over. Just please lead, follow, get out of the way. But on road trips, no. I'm along for the ride. Like that drive across the country, absolutely was until I got near my house was one of the most peaceful drives I've ever had in my entire life. It was wonderful. Going through West Texas and all, it was just beautiful. And out west, and Arizona, New Mexico, West Texas, they are very good drivers out there. If somebody's broken down on the side of the road, they move over a lane. They get over, and then they move back. Very, very, very good. But and no, road trips, no. I'm really good. I listen to music, put on if I can do cruise control, I'm fine. Even that traffic down there at South Beach, I was fine. It was like whatever, even though I was driving a stick. But yeah, I was fine. It's okay. I'm really I get more irritated because as I've gotten older, I just like, come on, people. I mean, because when I grew up, you went with the flow of traffic, not what the sign said, because that was always the thing. You went with the flow of traffic, and people can't even do that. It's like, good Lord, please. Yeah. So Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So there's that. But, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, we'll be working on, and also I have a, yes, people suck. Yeah, I'm not a people person. Really not. I like animals and cars. People, not so much. But, yeah, no, I lost my train of thought now. No, but I'm also gonna be doing a video. I actually have a product that, I'm going to be doing a, installation and kind of a little bit of a review on it, and, that'll be coming out soon too. It's a storage thing. They reached out to me, and I, uh, I said yes because the product looks good, so we'll give it the dentist test because I need some better storage in my garage anyway. So that'll be coming out within the next couple of weeks. So that's another little thing to look forward to besides these other three videos that I'm working on. So yeah, I'm trying to get ahead of the curve. Hopefully I can keep myself going. So yeah. So because my schedule's kind of my schedule calms down after the first week of August. I know. I'm so close. I want to get to 10,000. This is a good step in the right direction. I'm going to try to keep on making good content, interesting things. Try to make things that are not even called content. Just some interesting things that go, oh, that was kind of cool. Because that's what I'm trying to work on. That was kind of cool. So yeah. Because Mr. Beast said, your first 100 videos suck. Sure, okay. And that's why I was like, okay, I'll try as hard as I can on the first 100, try to do the best I can and learn from every damn mistake I make on them. Because literally when you're watching the videos, you're watching me learn. Because I am a mechanic. I do know a bunch about computers. I do know a bunch about recording and editing, but it's not my profession. My profession was finance. My second profession was mechanic. And yeah, so this is all very new. So I'm very excited about the subscription thing. It's actually making me quite happy. Where are we now? We are now at 1962, which was a good year. Yeah, good year. People are liking my charger video because and I do that all from comments. I do read the comments, and I am now more than ever pulling stuff from the comments because okay, you're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because that's exactly what we need to do, and it's more fun that way because it's like, oh wow, you gave me an idea. Cool, I'll make it come to fruition. I'll make your all your beautiful thoughts come to life. So there it goes. Yeah, I'm very excited. I just really want to get to 10,000. I mean, that's a goal at this point. Is 10. It just sounds like a nice number. So, and so that means just, if you have my video and it's any good, share it with people. Just, they have a little share thing. Just go share. He's like, hey, this guy kind of has some cool stuff on cars. He's just like us. Literally, just, his cars or his friends' cars, and he just like works on them. And he's a geek. He's a car geek because that's what I am, a car geek. Oh yeah, I also have new shirts out. I don't know if everybody's seen them. My smoke 'em if you got them. They're on my spreadshirt because you have to smoke them if you got them. So yeah, because I actually got one of the comments. The guy's like, "You had a 1969 shirt on. You're talking about a 1972 car." All right, fine. So I made a shirt with a 72 car, and there it is. Okay, so I think this is a good time to wrap it up. I've plugged the hell out of myself. I have gone through, I have educated, I have learned, and that's right. Kick the tires and light the fires. Absolutely. I have gone through and we've educated, we've learned, we've laughed. My cat is making my lap so damn hot right now. It's ridiculous because she is insane. This cat is crazy. And I thank you all for chatting. For all those who have watched, all those are going to be watching in the future when this goes and gets replayed a bunch of times, which I'm so excited over. And yeah, remember to always hit that like button. If you share it with other people, because I'm imagining you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. It doesn't cost you anything. You can subscribe to as many channels as you like, and it doesn't cost you a penny. And that's the best thing about YouTube. Because honestly, even with the paid subscription, it's still the cheapest entertainment out there. Because, yeah, and that's all I have to say about that. And I thank you all again in the chat, all of you that came and listened and watched and learned, and even those in the future that are going to be watching, learning, and all. Thank you so much, and I will catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Goodbye, boo-boo. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.